But now, are you a lesbian?
So we could have sex right here in the grass?
Gay for pay.
Everyone is gay.
So. Yeah.
I think everyone's
Yeah,
My
that's
friend said he
sad.
kind of got the gay vibe from you,
It's
though.
a job interview for fucking. That's what it is.
Like
Really?
public restrooms. They're either taken or shitty.
It's talk a lot and fuck a lot.
Another trick I find is to act
Even more scary than
psycho.
they
I
are.
kind of felt like I was being evaluated like a stock.
Okay, so let's talk about love and dating.
No, great.
I'm too lazy to do a podcast, so I appear on other people's podcasts. This is PodCRASH with that Chris Gore.
Welcome to the show. I am that Chris Gore. This is PodCRASH. This is the show where you get to hear me as a guest each week on a different podcast. Gives you the chance to discover new podcasts. It gives me a chance to talk about a variety of topics. This week, I crashed a show called Beyond Beautiful, hosted by Gina Hendrix, and she's a professional matchmaker. I could probably use some help in this category. Not doing too well for a while here. Okay, but before we get to that, this week I had kind of I don't know if it was just sort of, I wouldn't describe it as a meltdown, although some people say that they like to follow my tweets because I'm funny and batshit crazy. I like the batshit part, but I just was sort of sick of a bunch of different things related to Twitter, how it's actually caused some issues in my personal life where people are following my Twitter and making assumptions about things that aren't necessarily true. Look, I think of my Twitter as a factional version of my life. I share things that I think are funny. I take photos. Those aren't doctored photos. They're actually real photographs of things that I actually do or am interested in. So I just thought, you know what? It's one of those things where I used to justify the time spent on Twitter, the sort of Twitter vortex that starts with me kind of writing things in the morning, going, "Oh, this is good. Like I'm exercising. This is what it is. I'm exercising my writing muscles before I actually write something significant. So I'm exercising my writing muscles on Twitter and just saying, oh, that joke. Oh, a lot of people like that. They retweeted that. That was funny. Oh, I'll reply to this person. Oh, wait, what is that link? Suddenly I'm caught in the Twitter vortex where I've wasted hours of my morning. I need a break. There's some projects that I'm working on now that I need to finish by a certain deadline, and I got to take a break from Twitter, in addition to the fact that it's kind of caused some troubles in my personal life. So I'm taking a break. The PodCRASH Twitter, at PodCRASH Show, that's still going to be active because that's just pretty much telling you information about this show. But my personal Twitter, at that Chris Gore, taking just a little bit of distance. I'm not going to quit, but I do think it's funny because Steve Agee actually had over 1 million followers and quit. It just bothered him. He wrote some blog about it where he said, go outside. And I love Steve Agee, by the way. He's a comedian. I've seen his stand-up. He's been on the Sarah Silverman show. I saw him in a commercial recently. Love Steve. But he quit, and I kind of teased him about it. But now I kind of get it. I get what he was saying, which is basically stop spending so much time on it. And that's what I've been doing, and I need a break. I need a break specifically to finish some projects, kind of clear my mind, and move on. It's definitely going to help in the moving on department. Before we get to Gina Hendrix's show Beyond Beautiful, a couple of plugs. This weekend I'll be at the Los Angeles Podcast Festival, October 12th through the 14th. I'm moderating a panel on Saturday, October 13th at 10 a.m. That is in Santa Monica. You're going to love it. It's all your favorite people from the world of mostly comedy podcasts, but also it's seminars and panels and whatnot, all about that world. Look up lapodfest.com, see my panel, and I'm going to be doing a podcast live from there, which should be a lot of fun. I'm also doing a stand-up on Thursday, October 18th at 9 p.m. It's Michael Duggan's show at Universal Bar and Grill. That's 4093 Lancashire Boulevard in North Hollywood. And then in addition, PodCRASH will be live at the San Diego Comic Fest, along with Comic Book Live the same day. That's Saturday, October 20th. PodCRASH is it's at noon, and Comic Book Live is Saturday night at 7 p.m. That's October 20th. You can get information at sdcomicfest.org. Also need to make a special announcement. Our PodCRASH show that's live at IO West that I talked about on October 27th, that is canceled. There's just too many conflicting events that night. It's the Saturday before Halloween. Probably not a good night to put a podcast in Hollywood at 7 p.m. So we're moving that, and I'll announce what our November date is. Okay, so one last thing before we get to Beyond Beautiful, which I can't wait for you to hear this stuff. It's very interesting. I would like you to vote for PodCRASH. You can nominate PodCRASH for Stitcher's awards. And I think, look, there's no way best comedy. I'm not going to get that. I know who's going to win that already because it's any one of the top 5 in comedy. They're going to get nominated and one of those is going to win and well deserved. But I do think that if you voted for PodCRASH and say most original show or best new show, I think I actually have a shot at most original show or best new show. You can vote every day, once a day until October 19th. Just go to stitcher.promotw.com/nominate-shows. You can also just check out the Stitcher, that's STITCHER, Stitcher page on Facebook, and just look them up. If you just go to the Stitcher.com, you can find this place where to nominate. And we'll be tweeting out the link from the PodCRASH Twitter account. So I've never actually wanted to win an award. I think awards are stupid. But I do think that in order for more people to discover this show, some sort of recognition would be helpful, especially for Sean Merrick, who puts so much work in the behind the scenes of putting the show together. So for once in my entire life, I actually want to win an award and not just participated, like in soccer. I mean, like actually win an award to let people know, hey, this is something that they should check out. Also, feel free to please nominate some of the shows that I've appeared on. In some of the other categories. For music, I would suggest Hootenanny. Under film, you could do Film Threat, or Proudly Resents. Under entertainment and pop culture, I think Proudly Resents deserves some recognition. Under most original journalism, why not Caleb Bacon's Gentleman's Club? Put that in there. If you look at all the episodes of other podcasts that I've appeared on for PodCRASH, there are so many worthy of recognition. I'm voting for them every day. The Poubelle Twins Slap Booth show. That should be most original show or something, maybe some other category. I don't know. But please vote for PodCRASH. I do really appreciate stitcher.promotw.com/nominate-shows. That's so easy to remember. You're never going to remember that. I don't blame you. All right. Let's talk about Gina Hendrix and her show, Beyond Beautiful. So I'm at this bar, right? In Burbank, Smokehouse, which is one of those classic Hollywood bars. It's right across the street from Warner Brothers. Great bar. I'm meeting some friends there. I get there a little early, and I just started, I like to talk to people. I'll talk to strangers. I'll talk to whoever. And Gina Hendrix notices me. She says, "Are you a comedian?" I get very shy when people I don't know, maybe she thinks she knows who I am or whatever. We get in this whole, what am I doing? I get in this whole conversation, and I find out she's a professional matchmaker. And she's written a book. She has this, it's more of a radio show / podcast that you can find on iTunes. And what she does is she brings on women on the show, mostly model actresses, very attractive, and has them on the show. And then they talk about dating in Los Angeles. I have a few opinions about this. I have many strong opinions about dating and courtship and the right and wrong ways to do it. Because trust me, I've done most of the wrong ways. I keep searching for the right way to do it. But in any case, she invited me to be a guest on her show. And just to know about her, a little behind the scenes, I hope she doesn't mind me telling you all this. She charges, mostly her clients are celebrities and billionaires. I cannot tell you who some of the actual celebrities are. I mean, it's confidential information, but she charges like $25,000. Because I asked her, I said, hey, well, how much for your services? Why not? I'm not going to put an account on Match.com or OkCupid. So Gina tells she charges $25,000, which for a billionaire seems like nothing. $25,000 a year, and then she will set them up on dates and find out exactly what their likes and dislikes are. And frankly, if you think about it, for me that would be kind of cheap. I think when I look back at certain girlfriends, I've spent that in gifts and over the course of the relationship, gifts and travel and drinks and dinners, and it didn't quite work out so well. Yes, I am currently single at the moment and not loving it. And, I don't know where that's going to go, except I'm not really in the headspace to be with anyone. So I'm just hanging out with people and going out and having fun. But I just know that where I am emotionally, I'm just not going to be able to get to a place where I feel comfortable being with someone for a while. The heart's got to heal. All right. So let's listen to Beyond Beautiful. It was recorded in Sherman Oaks just a few weeks ago, actually. And the show is every Thursday at 7 p.m. It's latalkradio.com. And I'm on the show with actually two model actresses, Sophie, Mazzaro, and this girl, Jenn, Kathreen. And they were really cool. They were nice. They were beautiful. They're not my type, but I'll tell you about that later. All right, here it is, Beyond Beautiful, with your host, Gina Hendrix.
So normally, I never allow men on this show. It's all about the beautiful ladies. I interview beautiful women. We talk about love and dating and relationships. But somebody honed himself in on the show.
Yes, I did. I'm crashing your show, actually.
He crashed my show verbally when I met him out at happy hour, and I think I'd had a few, and I agreed to let him on the show. So let me just introduce everybody tonight. So I have Chris Gore to my right here.
That's me.
That's you. Folks. Now, hold on. Let me. I want to get it right here. So Chris,
wait, you found a bio on me?
Is the founder? I know you didn't send it to me. Is the founder of Film Threat, the magazine and the website.
Yes.
And you're also known for Attack of the Show.
Keep going. I'm on that show every week.
I know. Yes. Is that your biggest claim to fame?
I would say no. It's just one of the things I do.
What is your biggest claim to fame?
I don't know. I just tell people I'm a nerd-lebrity. And I think because I keep my career portfolio diversified.
You also have a podcast.
TV and books, podcast.
Go ahead. This is the part where you can toot your own horn.
Yeah. So
toot away.
Yeah, podcast.
I mean, so to speak.
And I produce.
Not literally toot away.
I produce films and television shows. Working on a couple animated series right now.
What are your books called?
I did a book called The Ultimate Film Festival Survival Guide, which is used by independent filmmakers to sell their movie at a film festival. It also includes great tips like how to crash a party. Like, I'm pretty much the king of party crashing. I can tell you, like, how to get into any party.
Oh, well. And into radio shows.
And into radio shows. Perfect, Sophie. Good.
Exactly. Now, all the ladies here are hot. They have they're not going to, you're not going to have any problem getting.
Ginger's a hot bitch down on the ground.
Yes, even Ginger.
It's the hottest bitch.
Ginger the dog.
So, you're not going to have any problem crashing a party. But myself, just being a dude, sometimes I'm not on the list. And what I'll usually do is just sidle up with, like, I've got, like, a pint glass filled with maybe half of like filled with apple juice. It looks like beer, and I don't make eye contact. I just totally poker face. I walk right up to the doorman and I say, "Hey man, is it cool if I take this outside?" He says, "You can't take that outside. Get back in the party."
That's a great one, actually. That's genius.
I get into every party that way because it's the only thing a doorman can get fired for because it's illegal to take alcohol outside a venue.
Oh. Why don't you hop the fence like a normal person?
I could do that, but
can we pick up this 1 second after? I want to introduce the other girls.
I got off on
the other girls besides yourself.
Yeah, let's not. Yes.
Okay, so then to your right we have Jenn Kathreen.
Yes.
Jenn is a model and an actress, right? And you are, let's see here, and you're originally from Canada.
That's correct.
Canadian. And so, like, what is your ultimate career goal here in Los Angeles? What are you ultimately aspiring to do?
I would love to be, a waitress, aka hooker. Just kidding.
Okay.
No, that's what I say about everybody in LA.
Chris is gonna roast you over the coals for that one. No, I'm kidding.
No, but that's typically like anyone that's not from LA. It's like, oh, okay. So
they don't aspire to that. That's just the fallback plan.
Right.
Unfortunately.
You're an actress. Okay, that means you're a waitress. But I'm actually not a waitress. I actually do this for a full-time job. This is, my living, and I would like to continue with
Hooking or acting?
Hooking.
Okay. Well, that's honest. Honesty is refreshing around this place. But you are joking.
Modeling.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to be
Mainly
clear.
modeling.
Chris is not sure. You're not sure, are you, Chris?
No. I was gonna ask, like, modeling and acting where, like, that I probably would have seen you or something.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute. Let's introduce Sophie. Sophie, who looks like a Swedish gal, is not. She is German, Texan, which is now an ethnicity, and Sicilian.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Sophie, hold on. I want to say your last name right. Hang on, I got to get my notes out here. Mazzaro. No, yes. I'm not. Mazzaro.
Perfect.
I can think of animals. Mazzaro.
Yes.
Mazzaro. So you have been living in LA how long?
For about 1.5 years.
And what is your ultimate career goal?
I want to be also a successful actress here in LA. I've moved here to study method acting and stunts, so I want to do both, do my own stunts. It's very valuable. I find it adds value to the actor when they can do their own stunts because production doesn't have to hire another person.
I think Nicole Kidman, that's how she got her start, isn't it? And
I don't know. I don't know. We've never dated.
Valerie
so,
Bertinelli.
I don't
And
know
no,
that.
I'm just kidding. I'm making things up right now. But that is so that's an awesome tip though.
I have a lot of tips like that. I have a lot of tips. Yeah.
Do girls
We
ever
have
have
to talk after the show.
Yeah, girls don't need those tips though, because you're attractive women,
surprised.
so you're gonna get into the party. It was so weird being on the show because I kind of felt with these two. I'm here with these two beautiful women, and Gina Hendrix is a looker herself. Oh my God, she's gorgeous. I'll tweet out a picture from the PodCRASH show account. You can see pictures of all these girls. But I kind of felt like Steve Trevor, Wonder Woman's boyfriend, because I'm sitting here on this island of this podcast radio show with women, and I'm just trying to fit in as best as I can and not come off too douchey. But I just sort of felt that way. It's surrounded by all these gorgeous girls, and I'm basically I have the potential to be Wonder Woman's boyfriend. But anyways, I've told those party crashing stories before on the show. I mean, I mentioned them in my book, The Ultimate Film Festival Survival Guide. But I guess the reason I just was not these model actresses, Sophie and Jenn, Kathreen, just like, I don't know, they were just not my type because I'm just not into, oddly enough, I'm not into blondes. I didn't talk about this on the show, but they're not my type. I'm just not I don't know what it is. It's something about I just like all different kinds of women. And I've had, the only thing they've had mostly in common is they've worn glasses. I like women that are smart. I've said this before as well, but I think that the blondes, for some reason, I think maybe it's a personality thing. This is going to sound like I'm a blondist, like I'm against blondes, but I feel there's something about growing up as a blonde, attractive woman that it comes with a sense of entitlement. And I've never been attracted. I think I've maybe gone out with maybe one or two women that were blonde, but I mostly go for brunettes and bespectacled girls. And, Sophie and Jenn were just not in that category. I mean, they're certainly gorgeous, just not my type. Back to Beyond Beautiful.
Another trick I find is to act
Even more scary than
psycho.
they are.
There you
Yes,
go. Right.
that works
Same thing with a guy. Like if you're dating a guy and he goes psycho on you,
Yep.
all you have to do is just turn around and go
Flip out.
more psycho on him.
Throw a little plate.
He will
and
run away.
he'll
Trust
run.
me,
And
they
if you're
run
attracted
away.
to that, you need to run away.
Do you find that? Don't you think that's true? That you could scare a guy off by acting more psycho than him?
I've had girls do that. For me, that's happened a lot.
You can just say, "Hey, let's get married."
Yeah.
Then
Hey,
they're
I'm
gone.
pregnant. Hey, guess what? I'm pregnant with twins.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Would that scare
Dave?
you off?
Yes, but I feel like that's kind of normal. I'm used to it. That's normal behavior.
And
in
you're
Los
newly
Angeles.
divorced? Can we say that?
No, not newly. It was like
Oh.
7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
I've had a few
you're all,
relationships.
no, not
since then.
newly. Right.
Not
Okay.
newly. I'm back in the game, but
What's the best and worst thing that's happened to you since you've been in LA? Jen?
I think the best thing that's happened to me is actually meeting Hef and being involved in the world of Playboy, because I've met the most amazing
Were you a
people.
playmate?
No.
Okay. Would you be a
Not
playmate?
I think at this point probably not.
Okay.
Just because I'm so close with him and with everybody up there that it's not about that to me. And it seems like
Would you
people-
marry him?
Yeah, probably.
Really? Wow. Wow.
I mean, people
Why?
that really get to know him, they just fall in love with him.
Really?
Yeah, he's just, I don't know. To me, I kind of described it as like I was really close to my grandfather growing up, and he kind of, I know that sounds really creepy.
It does sound a little odd,
that
I'll
I
be
would
honest.
marry my grandfather.
Right.
It's not like that, but it's more like the love part of it. And I mean, because he's in his 80s now, and there's not much of it.
there's a lot of hugging.
Yeah, exactly.
Going on.
I would
a lot
imagine.
of hugging and
Chris, do you
affection.
think? Don't you think he can get it up with Viagra or something?
I'm sure he can.
Chris,
I'm sure he
would you
can.
be a playmate?
Would I be a playmate?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I would be cool with that. I would
Do you
probably
think-
marry Hef, and I'm not even into dudes.
Do you think that's a good
He's
way
an
to go
amazing
for a girl?
person.
I don't know. I don't know that marriage. I think it can diminish a woman's career. I mean, if you look at people like
What, getting
Katie-
married or
yeah, getting
or,
married. Like Katie Holmes, I think it diminished her. with
Well,
Tom
that's
Cruise.
different.
She
It
was
is
more of a
different, but
person,
you're
yeah.
looking.
But it didn't do that for the other wife, Nicole Kidman. Didn't
Well,
diminish her.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So,
Depends on who you're marrying, I think.
I think it does too. But you do have to work.
but I meant more of a playmate. I mean,
A
do you
playmate-
think
would
it
I marry
hurts?
a woman who
No,
was
do you think it
into-
hurts a girl's career?
Oh no,
to do that?
Not
No.
today. Not today at all. I think absolutely
There's
no
no
one cares.
stigma at all.
No one cares. I mean,
Right.
there are people that after they have become famous are like, I got a great body, may as well
Right.
show it off.
Yeah.
No, I
anymore.
agree.
You know, stuff like
Yeah,
that. So I actually
totally.
think it doesn't hurt at all. It also can be something that's a fact, like, oh, she's in this movie. I think it can help with casting. I don't think it shows that you're you're
open.
willing to cut loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I mean, you're a model, and you know, doing those, it's not erotic when you're actually doing naked photos.
Right. Exactly.
So-
How did you meet Hefner? Or
I
Hef?
actually met him, a long time ago at Barflies when he had his 7 girlfriends.
Oh wow.
And he kind of just like, you know.
Were you weren't one of his 7 girlfriends?
No.
Okay.
No.
You weren't like an 8th girlfriend.
One for all the
No.
pills he needs to take, probably.
Yeah. You're like a backup. You
I
could be a
heard.
backup
Here's what I
quarterback.
heard because I knew a girl that was. I don't know if she was one of the 7, but she dated him along the way somewhere. And I think the deal is that basically he just likes to kind of watch the girls with each other and stuff. That's what I
keep
hear.
Talking,
No
Gina, keep talking. I like where you're going with this.
That's the end of that. That's as much
That's
as
part
I
of
know.
it. We'll say that.
That's part of it, huh? So you
That's
know.
part of it.
You know.
I
stuff.
know.
Okay. Oh, you do. Interesting.
I've been up there a long time. I know.
And what are his sons like?
Really shy.
Are they?
Really nice. Really, they're gentlemen.
Nice. So
Yeah,
maybe
really
you did
nice
a good
guys.
job with them. Oh.
Yeah, he did a great job.
And what do you guys find interesting? Let's segue into
Have you been to the mansion? Like,
Of course she has.
No, never.
Never?
I'm
yeah,
up
you
there
must have,
every
yeah.
weekend.
Oh,
You're
every
up there-
weekend.
I'm
okay.
gonna go up
I've been there a few
I've
times for
I've
parties.
never been there. Have
Are
you been
you
there?
serious?
Okay, so you
All
two.
right, we're going.
Okay,
I-
good.
Okay, we're all going.
I'll bring
I don't know
Foley.
about you.
I'll bring the
Doing his
Foley.
trick to get in.
I will.
Oh yeah, he'll
No.
look. He'll bring his pee in a cup beer trick.
I work
I'll
with
bring the
someone-
Foley.
I work with someone who's a 2007 Playmate of the Year, Sarah Underwood,
Oh, I
my
love
colleague
her.
at
I feel like I
Attack
know
and Show.
that
Yeah,
name.
no, I work with her.
I know her.
I work with her. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so-
right, you do.
Yeah, I work with
There's
her. So
somebody
she's.
that I just did it. Sorry, there's someone I just did a shoot with that actually. That's what your show sounds.
That's
like.
yeah. So
okay.
Okay.
she gave me
Is
advice.
Sarah the blonde?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So
Sarah gave me
cute.
advice
Yeah.
when I was going to a party at the mansion. I wanted to have sex with my then girlfriend at the mansion to be able to say that I did it. And so I
That's
did.
not hard to do.
I
That's
did.
what?
It's
That's
actually
not hard
It's
to
not
do.
hard to
It's
do.
not-
But I
it's
asked the
not.
bartender. I said, guy behind the bar. I said, look, what are the rules here? He goes,
There are
well,
no rules.
no, well, there are. They're like, don't openly do drugs. Like, don't do that. The other rules are no drama. Like, it doesn't matter who started it. If there is some sort of commotion drama, you'll be escorted out. And I said, well, anything else? He goes, nah, that's pretty much it. It's
Yeah.
the Playboy Mansion. I said, so we could have sex right here in the grass? Sure, if you want.
That's what I mean.
Wow.
Actually,
We just
there are
got-
no rules.
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
we found a place behind the pool, and we had like a view.
grotto.
It was fun. I
Now
just
they
wanted to do
found
that
that
to say I did.
disease or stuff. Not disease, but that stuff in the grotto. That what was it? Somebody help me with that. And they had to go in and get the water tested because
Right.
somebody got
There's
something.
some type of bacteria.
Some bacteria, right? Like
Yeah.
one of those. Like
You can smell it in the air. It really is weird. It's like you go in there and it's like it feels like you went back in time to the 70s. Okay, so that Playboy Mansion story, that's true. I'll never say who it is. I feel like when I talk about a particular relationship on the show, I think it would be disrespectful if I gave away a name. I feel like I respect the women in my past, even if it didn't end well, and I don't feel that I gain anything by saying anything bad. I actually wouldn't say anything bad. I don't really have much bad to say. If anything, usually what I do is when a relationship ends for me is I look at all the ways that I failed and how I screwed up and how I could have done it differently, and I wish I had done it differently. And I think that comes from it's a control issue where I feel like if I examine this, if I autopsy the relationship and I've got it sitting there on the table in the mortuary and I'm cutting it, dissecting it and really taking a look at it, if I can figure out all the ways where I did something wrong, then it's within my power to actually not do those things in the future so that I grow and so that I end up actually having some control over all aspects. But I think the reality is it's 50-50. When a relationship ends or when a relationship is going well, it's a 50-50 proposition. It's both parties equally putting in effort, on the same page, with the same goals in mind, working on it together. But I do tend to blame myself for everything. Okay, I'm a freak. All right, just back to Beyond Beautiful.
if you could be reincarnated, who or what would you like to come back as?
That's an interesting one. Brett Pitt, because
Interesting.
because then I could be dating Angelina Jolie.
Do you like Angelina Jolie?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I would send the kids off with a nanny, but I would keep Angelina.
But now, are you a lesbian?
No.
You're not.
No.
Okay. But you
Gay for pay.
Gay for-
When it comes to
Whoa.
Angelina
These
Jolie.
girls are fun.
Anyone would be gay.
And how about you, Jen? If you could be reincarnated, who or what would you be?
I would like present or
Doesn't matter. So you
past.
could say whoever. You could say.
I would come back as Marilyn
Houseplant.
Monroe. That would
Yeah.
be awesome. Yeah. 'cause
I don't know.
she's
She was
like,
so troubled, though. I don't know.
I know.
For
but
me,
I
I'd
feel
want to be
like-
Gwen Stefani.
yeah.
She has a life.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
true.
But I don't
yeah.
want to take anybody's
I would want to
answer.
like change her life path and just do things differently and not ODing. And I just think she could have gone so much further than
Right.
she did in her career. I just think she was amazing and talented and just
She went to my
underrecognized.
school.
In
Really?
Texas?
Yes.
Oh.
No, here. I'm
Oh,
going
Meisner.
to the Lee Strasberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Chris, what would you be?
James Dean, but I would try to drive better and not get in a car crash that would end my life.
So
So-
you would have been together with
Yeah.
Marilyn.
Yeah,
You guys would have
yeah.
been hanging out.
Probably.
Really? That way, out
In
of
that era,
everything
yeah.
OD
you could
together.
be, that's what you
Yeah.
want to be?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
You
I'm not
could
going to
OD in the
judge.
car.
I'm not going to judge. So, okay, Sophie, what do you, or no, we'll start here with Chris and we'll go this way. What do you consider your greatest, either personal or professional accomplishment?
Oh, wow. I would say professionally, I think creating Film Threat magazine. I was in high school. I created this magazine.
In high school?
Yeah, I was in high school and I created like this underground fanzine, Film Threat, that influenced a whole group of filmmakers, indie filmmakers, and that kind of made my career and opened up every opportunity for me. Like, I never had any aspirations to be on television or even to do a lot of things I'm doing now, but like, because I did this magazine, everyone knows me from that. It's a part of my past now, but I consider that because it actually helped a lot of other people. Like,
I've heard of
I get a
Film
lot of
Threat, for
compliments
sure.
from doing that, so I'm proud
Now,
of
who's that weird guy
professional achievement.
Who's that one weird guy that follows you on Twitter? That
One?
I know, I'm just
have
kidding.
a lot.
No, but the one that's kind of chimed in like to me and stuff.
Oh, he did? I don't know who that is.
Oh, you don't?
No.
I don't know how to respond on Twitter. Like,
Little @reply, try that. I'll show you how to do it
well,
after.
I know how to do it, and then where your name appears at,
Right.
but it doesn't show what you said.
Right.
It does if you're on it does connect those. It connects the
Oh.
conversation.
But I don't see it. But it does.
You can see it, yeah.
Huh.
I'll show you after.
Okay,
We'll do
show
that
me.
offline.
Okay. And how about you, Jen? What do you consider your most either personal or professional accomplishment?
Personally, I mean, I guess / professionally, for me would be grad school,
Mm.
just because education is really important to me, and I'm actually continuing on to pursue my PhD.
Wow, that's
Psychology.
impressive.
In what, may I ask?
Psychology.
Wow.
Wow. You underestimated her, didn't you,
psychoanalyze you.
Chris?
No, it's good. That'll
That's
help
im-
with acting too.
That's impressive.
Exactly. I'm already kind of like one
So
step
do you
up, I
already
think.
did you already get your master's?
I'm still working on it, and then I have to do my licensing, which is a whole other.
Where are you going?
Cal State Fullerton.
Okay, that's good. Hey, education is
I mean,
education.
and they have a
It's
great
impressive.
reputation, so.
Really impressive. And so then what? Do you want to be an actress / therapist?
I think I'm just doing the schooling now. I'm not sure if I want to do it like right now. I
Right.
want to like do everything else while I can while I'm
great.
so young.
It's great.
And then always like I can fall back on that.
Mhm.
And then it can help me along the way. And
Sure.
it already has helped me a lot. So
It's great.
yeah.
And Sophie?
Well, personally, moving to LA all by myself, I moved here. My parents stayed home in Germany, and I didn't know a single person out here. No one. I had no apartment, no car, no nothing. And I found an apartment, signed up for school. It was my first apartment that I lived in all by myself. So just
Wow.
that, being far away on a different continent.
Takes
from
a
my
lot of
family.
courage.
Yes, it was a big step. And everyone back home gave me so much shit in school because I had really good grades. I graduated like second best in my school district. And they said, you're throwing it away to go to acting school. But it's not just any acting school, A, and B, it's my dream. And I think you should go for it, especially if you're young, because you can't go back when you're 50 and say, oh, I wish I would have done this and that.
Well, you can say that,
I
but then it's just too
right.
damn
yeah,
late, isn't it?
I can still say in 3 years, I gave it a try, didn't work out, I'm going to go back
But at
to
least you
school.
tried.
Right.
I tried.
Mhm.
And then professionally, this year was very successful. I filmed 4 feature films, Vampire, Dinner with the Dons, Girls on a Boat, and Women. And I also have my own clothing line, Tammy Yammy, set up online. I have an online store now.
And do you design it?
Yes, I design every piece of
Really?
it. I paint shoes, shirts, and we're just filming our first commercial for it.
What's the
next
website
weekend.
for the clothing line?
It's tammyamy.com, TAMIAMY.com.
Huh. How'd you come up with that name?
On vacation. I don't know. It
That's
came
cool.
to my mind.
So then, okay, so let's talk about love and dating at this juncture, shall we?
No, great.
I'll take a
So,
pass on that.
well, this is what the show's about, Jen. Sorry. So what's been your best, like, what do you see is the best thing about dating in LA? We'll start with Sophie and we'll go back this way. Nothing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
let's
you.
make it 3. Yeah,
Really?
we all agree
Nothing's
nothing.
good about dating
That's
in
the
LA.
worst
What
place.
about?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's so
No.
hard.
listen, I'm gonna
finding-
counter with there's a lot of choices though. There's
Finding
lot of
a
options.
guy in LA is
Not
like
really.
public restrooms. They're either taken or shitty.
Or gay.
Or gay.
It's hilarious. That's like parking spots.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I agree. It's just LA is supposed to be the worst place in the world for dating. Austin, Texas is supposed to be one of the
Yes.
best places actually. But I just think
Texas
it's
in
an
general.
attitude here among people, among people that I don't know. It just doesn't.
What's the attitude, Chris?
I think that there's I mean, it's so cliche to say it's phony, but it is even sort of deeper than that.
Superficial.
Superficial
Absolutely, yeah.
and almost like I kind of feel like when I was dating actively, I kind of felt like I was being evaluated like a stock. Yeah, whenever I go on some sort of date with a girl and I feel like I'm just being judged, and I think it definitely goes both ways. I mean, there are things that are obviously deal breakers with people, but I do feel a sense of I just think it's awkward. I think the whole idea of like let's meet and get together and then we'll talk and see if we like each other. I mean, this is a bit from my stand-up. But I talk about how like dating is a job interview for fucking. It just is. From where I sit, I think that's an important part. It's important you connect emotionally and sexually because pretty much why this person is in your life is the most important part of all things. So I just always feel strange about. That's why I feel like just sort of I just rather just go on a date and just it's full disclosure. Like here you go. This is the stuff that they wouldn't let me post on Match.com because I've been banned from there. So I don't do the online dating, not anymore. It doesn't work for me. And right now I'm not in the space to date anyways. So so I'm not going to have to worry about this. I'm not going to have to worry about being evaluated. Why am I going to have to be evaluated? Because I'm not even going on any dates. All right, back to Beyond Beautiful. So yeah, I was through a period where like I guess I could have been single, wasn't, enjoyed being married, love raising my kids, and I would see my male friends were jerks, and I was like, oh, why are they? It's like, yeah, the back massage is not. She doesn't want that, I could tell, and I think the reason is most men just lack empathy, and just also being a dad, I feel I was very involved in raising my kids, so. I could see the effed upness and like, oh, it's such an effed up dynamic. It was really troublesome to watch them. Then when I started dating, not to say that I was good at it, but I knew the things not to do just because I care that there's another human being there. So just, and I'm not, and I'm also,
Why are the guys?
I look at it also from a business standpoint. I don't mean this in a cold way. I mean it from like, like, do we have a connection? Yes, no, whatever. But it's like I'll tell you what dating really is. It's a job interview for fucking. That's what it is, because you're effectively asking the same questions like, where do you see yourself fucking in 5 years? Tell me about your past fucking experience.
Not everything's about fucking.
Do you fuck overtime? Do you fuck?
I think
Yes,
guys
it is.
think that way though.
Yeah,
To a certain
exactly.
extent. I mean, I would say
Mike,
this.
talking to your mic, Jen. We want to hear every word you say.
I will say this. What I've learned just about being in a series of long-term relationships is you can read all the self-help books about relationships you want. You can watch Oprah or any of those daytime shows that talk about relationships. There are two things you need to do. I can devolve it down to a bumper sticker. Right? It's talk a lot and fuck a lot. That's it. If you do that in the relationship, you'll have a healthy relationship. Now, keeping that in balance. If it's all about sex, that's not healthy. If it's all about talking, as it can be sometimes, then that's not healthy either. It's got to be a balance of the two. It's got to be those sort of coming together. It'll never be perfect, but and then also long-term relationship is a roller coaster ride. It's definitely like there's ups and then there's downs and there's ups and there's downs, and it also depends on what your goal is. If your goal is to just have sex, you can get that in LA pretty easily.
Do you think it's a problem? Sometimes I've had this happen in the past where men have a problem if the woman is successful.
Yeah, and actually, that sort of gender it's a sort of gender reversal in that, like, there are more successful women now where the male has taken on kind of the female role because women are, and I have to say, I really admire you.
I think
16
a lot
years
of
old coming here.
That's I know.
Amazing.
Well, Texas, but yeah, a lot of men. I find a problem with guys in LA. They're like women.
They're so insecure. They're so sensitive.
Just like women.
I can't deal with them.
Oh, but you haven't called me. It's like, what? But
you know what it is? And I'm sorry, no offense, but like actors in general, they are the most insecure people in the world. Why do you think they wouldn't do it? So
I don't date
full
actors.
of insecurity.
It's
exactly.
Funny. I don't.
Exactly.
They're so
or models.
into themselves.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. No.
But unfortunately, that's all there is here.
You don't want to be with someone who's prettier than you are, which
exactly.
could happen.
Fighting for the mirror.
Exactly.
Right. So you're telling me you wouldn't go out with Colin Farrell or Ryan Gosling?
Colin Farrell, no. Ryan Gosling, of course.
He is an actor. Let me just.
I know, but
there's always exceptions.
Always exceptions.
And how about you, Jen? Would you go out with Ryan Gosling or Colin Farrell?
Colin Farrell, yeah.
Yeah. And what about George Clooney? Either of you?
No.
Too old.
Oh, really?
Not a fan.
Really? Okay.
Also, I think he's gay.
You do? I don't think so.
I think everyone is gay.
I think everyone's gay.
Everyone's gay. Everyone's
Chris,
something up their
gay?
asshole. Like,
just
whoa for you.
Chris, do you like something up your asshole?
I haven't noticed that.
My friend said he kind of got the gay vibe from you, though.
He did?
Yeah.
He did? Oh, yeah. That's good. See, that's because this is actually advice.
Do you guys get the gay vibe from
a little bit?
No.
Oh. I see. No, he just says no.
That's what I'm saying over here.
There's advice that I put in my book, my film festival book, which is flirt with everyone, including same gender. The reason is, especially in the film festival circuit, you're dealing with festival directors who run film festivals that are putting your movie in the festival, which might help you sell your movie and thus begin your career. Most of the people who work on that are gay. Most of the publicists are gay men.
And Jewish.
So I can flirt and maybe out-flirt
so should
a
you
gay
flirt?
man in front of you guys.
Should you flirt and wear a yarmulke?
I could even do that, but the whole thing is to just get people to like you. And I there's a movie that I produced a few years ago, and I raised $500,000 from a gay married couple. I basically flirted with them. I mean, I was married at the time,
right?
But I flirted with them, and it's like there's a whole thing. There's like a charm and a you have to be able to have a likability, and that helps you get hired in a lot of things.
I thought this was weird. Tell me why he did this. When I went to drive off, he walked me to my car. He did not pay the valet for me.
Oh,
which
geez.
do you know
what?
That's not a good move.
That's disrespectful.
That's not a good. He didn't even spend any money. I mean, the shit was free. The drinks,
Jewish?
the food was free. I don't know what his deal. But again, kind of womany. You know what I mean? What kind of man stands next to a woman and lets her get out her money and pays for a valet? Am I right or wrong?
Wait,
Chris?
okay. Was he young? Because it seems like younger guys these days.
I mean,
I think it depends where they're from.
There were bigger mistakes he made earlier.
Portland, like Oregon. But so when I went to get in the car, he looked down. I made a joke. I go, "Are you memorizing my license plate?" And he goes, "No, I'm just looking to see what kind of car you're driving." I thought that was weird.
Here's the thing. I think
Mercedes.
You can identify a man from a child, a boy, by one distinction. It's very simple. It's someone who has learned it's not about you.
Right.
That's how you become an adult, and that's how you become a man. Is it's not about you. The world's not about you. It's not about your stuff. It's you basically look outside yourself, and you're not constantly focusing on me.
What's the biggest mistake you think people make when they go out on a date?
That's exactly what it is. Only talking about themselves, not
you have to know what you
any
want.
questions.
That's every guy in LA then.
Yes.
I think
talks about himself.
Yeah.
They're on the phone. They only talk about themselves.
They don't ask you any questions.
There's no interest.
They don't want to get to know you.
Now, sometimes, Chris, don't you find that, because I can see both sides of it, but sometimes, and I've heard this, that like somebody will go out with you and they're talking about themselves. And in fact, this would be me. I confronted a guy about it. I said, at the end of the date, I said, "So what do you know about me?" And he went, "Huh?" And I go, "Well, I could tell you about you,
wait.
but what? Hold on." I said, "But what do you know about me?" And he went, and he was struggling, and he said, and then this is what he said, which is an interesting perspective. He said, I just felt I like you, and I just felt like I needed to sell myself. So there is that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Maybe
there is
they're
that. Nervous, right. And they like you, and they're trying to impress you. So sometimes it's not like, "Oh, I'm so cool, I'm going to talk about myself." I think sometimes they're doing it because they like you, and they feel like they have a small window to like seal the deal and sell themselves.
True,
Is that
but
true
then
or not
Yeah, but
true?
you can tell
True.
the difference, though.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying they're not like
And if
deficient
he's-
in some manner,
If
but
he's looking at you and genuinely showing interest, I think it's fine.
But back to the whole job interview for fucking thing. I do think that there's a
Okay.
no, but it's a true thing because
It always
you
goes back to
are
that.
at the end of the what's that?
It always goes back to that.
Well,
Yes.
sex is a big part of relationship. Look,
It is.
if you ever had a long-term relationship where you're not having sex and you're not being satisfied sexually, yeah, that's when
ruins
it
yeah.
begins to end. But it's
Well, because
that
that's
comes
the
down to the
intimacy. Like, the
Correct.
intimacy, like, sex is a big part of intimacy. It's not everything, but...
it isn't everything. But then it's also like what your goal is. Like my goal is I would like to find someone. I would like to be married again, but I want to be. And I actually did this exercise where I started writing down. Finally, just said, you know what? I'm just going to write all this stuff down, like what I want, and it's like what I'm looking for in a woman. Really specific things to kind of just have her materialize in my head, at least like kind of know. And then it's like any woman that doesn't fulfill that,
What's on
not
the
in a
list,
negative
boobs?
way.
what boobs
No,
or boobs on
physical
the
stuff.
list?
It's weird because
You
I
like girls that wear glasses.
the only I will say that I've dated all types of women.
I like people that drink Voli vodka.
my
In all flavors.
last-
The light, the lemon, the orange, the raspberry cocoa, and the
Oh,
espresso
you're doing a
cocoa.
plug in the middle of my little.
Hey, I gotta get them all.
revealing
I
thing.
gotta get them all in, and
But
here I
I-
can't get a word in edgewise.
Well,
He's a guy, and he's talking about
That's
it.
true.
Right,
But
there he goes.
But
Keep
like I've
going.
been with all types of
Show's gonna end in a few minutes.
ethnicities. It's the only thing in common is girls that wear glasses. I like women that are really intelligent.
Okay.
So if they wear
That-
glasses, that means they're
Glasses.
intelligent.
I know.
I'm highly intelligent, and I don't wear glasses. I have 20/20
That's
vision.
now that's a cliche. I know, but
It is a
there's-
cliche.
Yeah, exactly. So I need a woman who, if I can't connect here, I won't connect here. So
Sure.
I need a woman who can give me a brainer. That's what I tell
And
my
that's
friends.
what I think is so
So-
hard in LA to find intelligent
Absolutely.
people that you can have. Like,
But yet we
amazing
have 4 in this
conversations with.
room and 5
It also
with
makes
Ginger,
sex
but
better
she's
if you can
sleeping.
connect that way too. By the way.
I would always prefer a good Southern guy over any LA
You would?
actor, fancy
Absolutely.
starlet.
They
Absolutely.
They know how to be gentlemen, that's for sure,
yes,
right?
Well,
yes,
that's
they
true.
do. They
Yeah.
open doors and invite
And
you
they have
to
the
dinner. They have the accent.
What do you think of the biggest mistake a girl makes here, like on a date?
Giving it up too easily.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I think wanting to have sex too soon. I would almost when I was dating, almost every girl I went out with, I said, let's
You
keep it.
still are dating, aren't you?
I'm sort of in a thing.
Oh,
where
you
it's
are?
Like, no, like I don't know if I'm gonna reconcile with my ex or not. I
Oh,
don't know.
really?
No, one of those
Yeah,
things.
it's sort of those back and forth. Yeah,
Wow.
no, it's the worst.
You mean
It's-
your ex-wife?
No, not ex-wife. No, not ex-wife.
Oh,
no.
the ex-girlfriend you
last
told me
girlfriend.
about.
Yeah, I've had like 3. I've
You
had,
need to cut those ties.
well, it's like
Yeah.
I've had 3
I don't believe
significant-
in going backwards.
No.
You don't. Exactly.
Move
There's a
on.
reason you broke up in the first
Agree.
place.
Exactly.
I agree.
Always a reason.
Yeah.
Let's keep talking.
It gets
But God, I forgot what I was gonna say. Boy,
Good.
it's-
Good.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
good.
because you know what?
Thanks.
Here's the thing. The show ends at 10 till the hour. So that's
We
shortly.
can keep talking forever.
I
This
know
is really
that's
good
the
conversation.
problem. It goes by fast, but I do want to get into a couple of questions here, so
All
that
right.
we can, from listeners, so that we can at least give people some advice before we wrap this show up. This one's a short question, Gina, and these emails come from listeners, and I compile them and then bring them in. So here's a question, and everybody can put their 2 cents in, including Jenn and Sophie.
Are you saying I talk too much?
I'm saying you talk a lot. Okay, dear Gina, hey, is it just me or do you find it frustrating having good communication in your relationship while not wanting to go to a relationship counselor? What do guys do? This is from a guy.
Oh, wow. I don't know why you're looking at me. I thought you
Because
wanted
you're a
that much
guy.
off.
I know, but you're
Oh.
a guy, so
Well, first of all,
this is your forte.
guys are typically horrible at communication. They
Right.
just don't know. Either they're just bad. I mean,
Can
and
a girl
and
get a
not
guy
just-
to be good at communication?
And
Yes.
not just between
Yes.
male female.
How?
Train them like a
Yes,
dog.
you
Give them
do.
a little
You
cookie
have to.
every time. They
Okay,
just have it
Sophie.
right.
Okay,
Give 'em a little
you think
cookie.
you're making a joke? That's actually very good advice, and I'll tell you why. They say the
Positive
marriages,
reinforcement.
Yes.
the marriages and long-term relationships that last the longest are when the woman is in charge, but
Yes.
the woman delivers information in a way that makes the man desirous of pleasing the woman. So, for
Right.
example, if you said to me, "Take out the garbage," I'd be like, "Fuck her, I'm not taking out the garbage." But if you said to me, "Hey, honey, would you take out the garbage for me?" I'd be like, "Holy crap, I can't wait to take the garbage out. It's gonna be awesome." Okay, that's it for this week's show. I really want to thank Gina Hendrix at Beyond Beautiful. She is at Gina Hendrix, and it's Gina and Hendrix like Jimi Hendrix. She's on Twitter at Gina Hendrix. You can also go to beyondbeautifulwithginahendrix.wordpress.com. You can also find her on Facebook. She does have a Facebook page. And Sophie and Jenn, they were great. I mean, They tolerated me. I have often said that. Like, I love a woman who will tolerate me, but I think I deserve more. I think in whatever relationship I get into in the future, it's going to be something where it's a 50-50 proposition on all things. I think I can handle that now. I think I've grown up to a point where I'm open to having that long-term, mature relationship. Of course, I've thought that for about the last 7 years, and it hasn't. It's almost worked out. It's almost worked out, but I kind of feel like the character in the TV show where things are like, oh, it's all lining up. It's all lining up. It's lining up. Oh no, next season on the Chris Gore show. No, that's what I feel like. I feel like in my head, that's always it's. I get very close, and then it's you know, my world never comes together completely. So, but boy, has it been interesting these last several seasons. Why am I comparing my life to a TV show? It's probably because I'm on TV on occasion. All right. Hey, follow us on Twitter at PodCRASH Show. You can follow me at that Chris Gore. I'll probably start tweeting in a few weeks. Give me some time. Give me some time, folks. You can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/PodCRASH. And go to iTunes. Give us a 5-star review. Post a review. It helps other people discover the show. They find out PodCRASH. Look at all these people that like it, and they're giving it 5 stars. And don't forget to vote for PodCRASH. Most original show, best new show. I think I've got a shot in those 2 categories. You can vote once a day through October 19th. Go to Stitcher.com and just check it out. You can just Google it, Stitcher Awards. You probably find it that way. And one last final thing. Let's get out of here. If you're still listening to this, you're probably a lot like me. You're the kind of person who hates dating. You're the kind of person who, when the date doesn't work out, you just go to another bar and, get another drink. Drink away your sorrows. Wait, sounds like I'm something of an alcoholic. That's not always the case. Normally, I'll just go home and put on a DVD. And that's how pretty much things will end, if it doesn't end well. If it does end well, we're watching the DVD together. All right, well, you're my kind of person. So for that, you shall be rewarded. I'm going to send you something for free. Just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. PodCRASH with that Chris Gore, 5042 Wilshire Boulevard, PMB 1500, Los Angeles, California, 90036. I'll send you something in that self-addressed stamped envelope for free. Oh, it's cool. You're going to dig it. And, also your reward for continuing to listen. Some bonus piece of audio here later, but I also think it's just like I cannot believe women in LA. It's like they wanted to jump.
They really do.
Right in.
Well, but that's because they want to move to boyfriend. They want a commitment. They want to move it along to the They want to seal the deal.
Yeah. So
that's
my least favorite words. My least favorite words.
That and the horny.
Okay.
Right. But my least favorite words to hear out of a girl's mouth after you just started having sex is, "So what are we?" And it's like, can we wait and regroup here?
Right.
We'll just go. I mean,
you should ask that before you have sex.
Yes.
Right.